The first 2 years, I lost 100 pounds.
Sure about that. What? Like, you want a picture of me? Like,
Yeah. Graham, can you come do backflips?
Cardio's making you fat. That's what we're going to talk about today.
You're listening to the Northstar podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode of the Northstar podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about longevity as the new status symbol. Biggest thing here, we're going to kind of have a little bit of fun with it. We'll do a little bit of would you rather, but just going by how wellness is replacing wealth as the ultimate flex. So, Ekam, you're going to start off with the first question here. So I'm going to hand it off to you, and we'll have a little fun.
Awesome. We just talked about wealth, and we talked about status symbols. So the first question is, would you rather look rich or feel elite in your own body?
So for me, I think like how the shift has come is, and this is how I see it, is if you feel better, you're gonna be more rich at the end of the day, right? I think like looking rich is just, you know, like
It's all perception.
yeah, it's a perception of it, right? So as if you can feel better, you can actually make more money. You actually see that like a lot of celebrities and things, like they wear, you know, just like random common clothes,
Yeah,
right?
it's
like,
not that flashy.
yeah, like you see like
Besides rappers and all that stuff.
yeah, but
They're
I
the
think that's more
outliers.
of like a status thing and kind of have a persona, but
My thoughts on it is you are the fit, if that makes sense. Like if you look good and you feel good, you're going to look better in your clothes regardless of what the clothes are.
yeah, and
So
you're
you can
probably
wear
going to
longer
act a little
clothes.
bit differently, have a little bit more confidence.
Posture's going to be better.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big
So-
thing too. You're going to have your head up higher. That's another thing.
Yeah, so I think at the end of the day, that's something that I've definitely seen and is a little bit different than it was before, right? I think, you know, and I think it shows, not all the time, but I think you get to a point where you actually start to be really proud of what you've been able to, you know, achieve.
Yep.
But everyone's different, right? You know, so, but yeah. Okay, next I'm up. Is being tired and sick the new broke?
That's a good one. Tired and sick as the new broke.
Try to combine it there.
I know. I would say no because of what social media portrays. When you're looking at it like an outside perspective, I think regardless, like people, when you consider like when you think the word broke, you're thinking more about like how much money someone has. But me personally, when I am tired, I don't perform well. So like there's a higher chance of me getting broke, you know? So like, yeah, I think there probably will be a shift moving forward because it's one of the biggest trends I think in the 20th century is health and wellness. Like you see all these like billionaires coming up with these crazy like regimens and routines on these healthcares, like this special health routines and all that stuff. So I think, is it gonna really impact you from making more money? 100%. So
One, you need like less healthcare, less visits to the hospital, you know, less medication. You know, it's easier to do things when you're not feeling really shitty, right? So
Exactly.
just kind of makes your life a little bit easier in that way, right?
now, just talking about this, when did health become something people flex, in your opinion? Like when did that shift like start happening?
Well, so I've been doing it for about a decade now. So it's, you know, it's interesting. I think health has always been like super out there in the aspect of there's always been at least someone talking about it. But I've even found like drinking, like people drink less, and there's a lot more studies and surveys and stuff that show that people are drinking less. It's almost like
Vaping too, I would say.
yeah, it's almost becoming like cool not to almost.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, well, you drink, like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's
like-
it's definitely a younger, like generational thing. But I also think there's also so many other things now. You think like 20, 30, 40 years ago, like drinking, smoking, like that was, you know, obviously there's other things that were available, but there's so many other avenues. And I think just people are starting to like understand, like, I don't want to feel really shitty the next day.
Exactly.
Like I want to be to do those things and kind of still like go about it without having to worry about how I feel.
What are your thoughts on like media and all that stuff? Because back, like let's say 10 years ago, we had movies like Hangover coming up, and I think with older Hollywood as well, there was more of a degenerate side of like filming. I guess it was more pushed out there when it comes to that stuff, from what I've seen personally. versus like nowadays, even with like, I think with like kids growing up, them seeing it more. For my mom, she runs a daycare, and even I see like a lot of the parents with their kids are like feeding them really healthy meals, which I feel awesome about. It's like I'm seeing less and less of that push of, you know, your typical, like when I grew up, it was what, Dunkaroos. You ever had Dunkaroos?
Yeah, it was so good.
It was like I would crave. It'd be like my healthy meal would be like maybe 2 boiled eggs, which I hated, but to balance it out, my parents would give me like Jolly Ranchers to go like, okay, 2 eggs, have 3 Jolly Ranchers, right? Dunkaroos was always a thing. Those Ritz crackers with cheese. I even see nowadays with kids, and even with my younger audience, my younger clients I train, athletes, I see them like being way more aware than I ever was, which is awesome. So I think, yeah, even with social media now, I don't know, have you seen this? There was that one, they call him the raw milk kid or whatever. It's this kid, he claims he's 19 years old, but like kind of looks like he's 13, 14. And he talks, he was a guy who really pushed the eating on the wooden like cutting board with the steak and the eggs and the avocado and dipping it, like to boost your testosterone and all that stuff. I mean, you got people like that with like hundreds, like 500K. I think the guy has like 500K, a million followers. So they're promoting that stuff, which is pretty cool. So I personally think it was probably the last maybe like 4 years, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just been a big shift. I think it's kind of hard to say exactly when it happened. There's probably studies and things that have shown a trend, but I think it's just awareness. I think more people are becoming aware of how much health has impacted them in, or how health will impact them in their future, right? So, all right, changing a little bit of it here. Your next question, do people care more about feeling good than showing money now? Do you find that?
Depends on who you're working with as a coach, I would say. I find with my clients that are, you know, in like the 50-ish age, a lot of them I have like 3 clients off the top of my head who are, you know, retired, very successful. Like they drive almost $500,000 cars. They're making good money. And for them, only thing they care about is feeling good. And they're willing to pay that extra buck and do whatever they can to make those sessions to feel good. It's always just a guess about your perspective on life, I would say, right? Like versus you look at the opposite to contradict it is there's like, for me growing up, like I know during COVID time, right? When I was on Instagram and social media, all I was seeing was like young hustlers talking about, oh, you're going to the gym, doing this, working out. You're too focused on working out. You need to go make money, go dropship, go do crypto, all this stuff. So it's always, I feel like the world has a way, and social media and the algorithm has a way of just promoting, like you like one thing, it picks up on that and it's going to push it down your throat. So when it comes to when people care about it, I think the obvious answer people will say is it depends on your, I guess, your circumstances, right? Like if you're dead broke, you're only going to care about money, right? It's like you need to survive. But if you're in that middle class, upper class, for sure, I think it's a bigger flex to, you know, look healthier, be good, perform better. And that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I think like you said, just performing better, you'll feel better about how you go about your day and kind of move forward from there, right?
Yeah. I guess it's my turn. Okay, so money versus discipline, what do you think is more impressive? Like when you, so like I'll give you an example of this is let's say you grew up with this person let's say you grew up with a friend, okay? And there's 2 friends, okay? One friend, and I think you've actually mentioned this, might be your own words from a previous podcast we did, but one friend, he got all of his money inherited, right? He was 22, he had the nice car, he had the Ferrari, he had all that stuff. And then you had another friend who didn't make the money, but he was disciplined, and in 30s, he got like a similar level of wealth, right? And you're taking advice, okay, so what's more impressive? And you're taking advice from both people, who are you going to listen to?
Well, I would take the advice from someone who's built it themselves,
right? And then what's more impressive then when it comes to those? Is it going to be the money? Is it the money that was impressive, or the discipline that was impressive, that the guy was able to work his way up to get to the money?
I think money comes with discipline.
Yeah.
Right? So if you don't have that discipline, obviously if you win the lottery, that's a little bit different.
Or cryptocurrency and you got lucky with the...
Yeah, like, you know, I think that money comes with discipline. Like, it's a byproduct, right? Obviously, you have to be smart financially and make, you know, right business decisions, right? It's not just gonna, just because you start a business doesn't mean you're gonna make money. But I think there's also ways of understanding that sometimes you have to discipline yourself enough not to spend money now in the short term to then make more money later.
So I'll ask you this. Would you rather be 300 pounds right now or $30 million in the account? Without the discipline to work back to where you're at right now.
Like, would I be able to work and lose the weight?
Well, you
Or,
wouldn't
like,
have
would
the
I be
discipline.
300?
You wouldn't have the discipline for it. Because we're talking about this one, right? Let's say you just removed all the discipline
So you just
built
pay
up.
to
Pay to be an extra like 200.
No, but like I could pay to get it off.
Yeah, well, so you're saying you would take the money, but then you would do surgery, like with
You gotta
surgery or
think, dude,
whatever.
like 30. Yeah, but or you just like you.
So that's why this is such
but
a
you pay,
contradictory
but you
thing,
pay
right?
like you could pay like a coach
Yeah.
to like keep you accountable.
See, there you go, bingo.
But again, I'm not. But the question would be like.
I know it's a stupid question because the question's a little stupid, but it's like
No. But what I'm trying to get at is like, if you hand someone $30 million, for example,
Mm-hmm.
versus, let's say you start with $0 and then you have nothing. Like
Okay.
you have like no like you either can pick to work on the money, or I guess work on your body. Or sure, let's say
the opposite, right? Like you're at the weight and you're trying to work down to the body.
Yeah. So I think at the end of the day, when it comes down to like money as a whole, there is discipline that comes within making that money.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if you're just handed $30 million, it's a little bit different. There's no discipline that took part in that.
Would you find it a lot harder for that person to make that? This is a tricky thing because we have to bring more, I guess, details to the story.
Well, if you have, but then you got to think like, if you have $30 million, how much of the other stuff do you not have to do anymore? You don't have to work. Like
So how
maybe
much
you might
easier it would be
work.
to lose the weight?
Pardon me?
So how much easier it would be to lose the weight?
Well, you have more. Yeah, you could say you have more time.
Yep.
Right? You have more, but then you probably want to go do other things. So it's like, it's always a sacrifice no matter what you're going to do, right?
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, I think, the big picture, if you're looking at wanting to make more money, yeah, discipline's going to be obviously probably one of the biggest things. But if you're handed the money, it's obviously a different story, right? But I wouldn't be like, you asked me if I would take advice from someone who was just handed the money for someone who built it. Well, I would take the advice from someone who built it rather than just being handed the money, because I know the person that got handed the money didn't have to do anything to get it.
Yeah. It's more respected.
Yeah, I would
thing.
say, well, because they actually like built it from the ground up instead of it just being given to them at that stage, right? So, but yeah.
We'll go into the next question because this could just spin off to a conversation, which I like. It's a little bit of freestyle. Where are you in that?
Yeah, so is taking care of yourself harder than making money? So I guess it kind of ties into this next one, or the one that we just talked about.
We're talking about like being dead broke and like not having people who are gonna like give you loans and all that stuff for angel investors. I'm thinking about this too.
Angel investors? Like, who do you know, bro? Jeez. Angel investors? Like loan sharks over here, just like 20% interest? I think it's like at the end of the day.
Sorry, the question is taking yourself harder than. I think.
Like, what's harder, taking care of yourself or making money?
It's about like what you think about taking care of yourself is. If it's like just being at a low body fat percentage, you could just make money, take peptides, right? GLP-1s just.
I think
cut the cravings, right?
I think taking yourself personally, I think taking care of yourself is harder
than making money.
Well, you can go any job. Yeah, depending on how much money you want, right? Like if you only want to live, let's say
you want to make $1 million a year, then I would say
that's different than making $50,000 a year.
Yeah.
So I would say taking care of yourself is harder.
Which battle are you taking though? Taking care of yourself or focusing more on
making money?
Making money.
Well, it kind of makes the argument of like if you're healthier, you're going to be able to make more money.
Yeah.
Right. But then again, do you have to sacrifice your health to make more money?
Yeah, exactly. I like to think of it like that. Is there a sacrifice that's needed for the other, or is there a way to correlate both together? For example, like if it's easier to think of, I guess, like I always find it like whenever someone's trying to get into something new, it's more about like connecting brain patterns. So like if you can connect the mindset of making money with the mindset of staying consistent, like let's say you have the mindset you're investing this much into a stock every month, right? But if you are this much into a stock every single day, can you use that same mindset with your health and your fitness and correlating that? So I think it's about finding that balance to make it both seem like it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
but
it's not a challenge.
Well, I also think too, like sacrifice, like for example, maybe instead of sacrificing your health by making money, you sacrifice time with family or time with friends, right?
Yep.
So there's going to be something you have to sacrifice. It doesn't have to be your health, but it could, right? You can pick, like you can decide to make money, hang out with your friends and family, but not worry about your health.
Yeah.
Or you can do it the opposite way. So there's always going to be some sort of sacrifice. But also, I think it also depends on where you're at. Like you might hustle for your 20s, and then now because you did that, you don't have, now you can take a step back from the work or the money, I guess, because the money is now pretty much doing it like
Work for itself.
yeah, in that way, right? So it's all about, I think you go back to discipline, bro. Depends what you want,
Yeah.
right? Like some people don't want to make $1 million a year.
Exactly.
Right. Well, they say they do, but then like when actually brought with the opportunity, are they willing to actually make the sacrifices?
Yeah.
You know, everyone wants to say they want $1 million a year. They are, but are they willing to actually put the time and investment into making that?
Yeah.
Right. So
now, this question is sleeping well a flex now, because there's two sides of it, right? You got people out there that are telling you like, hey, I got 2 hours of sleep, and they'll brag about it, right? So do you think that now the flex and that type of connotation is being viewed more negatively? Like when people brag about like, oh yeah, I hustled all night, I did this all night, I woke up at 5 a.m., I did this before you were awake, versus getting proper amount of sleep. Do you think that's more of a flex? And do you think it's changing the trends?
you know what, man? Like, I think we've chatted. I think I said this once too on one of the other podcasts. But it's, you know, you have like some people like have these like crazy ass morning routines. That's like 3 hours, and I'm like, okay, you can spend that time doing that, or you know, do like they've done like interviews with billionaires and millionaires, and some of their routines are like not even like they're like, I wake up, shower, go to work, drink coffee, like. You know, it's not anything crazy. And then you have some people that are on the other spectrum that have a 3-hour morning routine and they're broke. Yeah. So it's kind of like,
now going a little bit. So like when it comes to like the sleep amount, right? Yeah. I think like it's changing now. Like people talk less about like, oh, I slept this many hours and brag about that, versus now I think a lot more of the wellness trends and all that stuff. People talking about the quality of sleep.
Yeah, right? For sure. Like, but then you got to ask yourself, you know, it comes down to like time of the year or time of like what kind of season you're in, right? Yep. Sometimes you're just gonna have to like sometimes have a little bit less, sometimes you'll have a little bit more. I wish I had more recently, but that's okay. But you know,
have you ever flexed? Like have you like bragged like in just a random conversation, let's say with the bros, and like, yeah man, I got 2 hours of sleep and I'm still, you know, doing this? No. Yeah. No, dude, I'll be like, I wake up at 9 a.m. I don't care. Like, but like, I'd rather wake up later. I don't know, that's just me. I'd rather wake up later and work later than wake up super early and then be done early. Yep. I don't know, that's just me. Me too.
I just rather take my time in the morning, but...
It's about understanding your sleep cycles. Are you more of a night owl, more of a daytime guy? What makes you get your work done, right?
Yeah. I think at least if... Like, I try to at least get a minimum of 7 hours.
Oh, okay.
So if I can. Yeah. Right? You know, I have a Oura ring, so it kind of tells me how much I have, but...
What's your thoughts on it, the Oura ring?
What's for sleep? It's great for sleep.
Do you think it's worth the money? Because it's the one with the subscription, correct? Or is it?
It's like $9 a month or something.
Oh, it's just $9?
Yeah, a month. Yeah. Okay. No, Canadian.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah.
Does it track workouts too, or is it just like?
It can, but I honestly, if you're looking for like a workout tracker, I wouldn't recommend Oura.
What would you recommend?
Like a wearable, like I heard Whoop is really good for it.
Yeah, Whoop's,
or just like an Apple Watch or a Garmin. I don't know. Like, so I would say Oura is really meant for sleep and like stress levels and understanding recovery.
Have you heard of I might be wrong, but because have you heard of the Beats headphones, the Power Beats?
Yeah.
There's like the new one. I know it tracks your heart rate with the new one, but I don't know if it tracks your workouts.
How does it track your heart rate through your ears?
It has like, Apple made this cool like sensor, like laser thing that like tracks your heart rate through your ears. It's pretty cool. But like, yeah, I mean, we were even talking with Clayton the last episode about the fingerprint tracker, which should be pretty cool too.
Yeah, there's a lot of new technology. I don't know. I think sleep, like, I guess you could say everyone has a different sleep like amount too. Some people need 9 hours, some people need 5. So I don't know. But I don't know. It's like flexing about like when you get up or how much you work. It's kind of like,
I'll be honest, I'm guilty. I've done it in the past when I was in my hustler university days.
Well, I think everyone has to go through it. Like, I think at the end of the day, I try to look at it as like, you know, everyone has a different, obviously, situation in their life.
Yep.
Everyone has, but we've chose that.
Yeah.
Like, I've chose to work the amount I do.
Yep.
You know, like, it was a choice. So for me,
It
it's
didn't
like,
kill you either.
pardon me?
And it didn't kill you either, right?
Well,
It's like,
it might be killing me slowly. Who knows?
but
But, you know, at the end of the day,
we'll know until we know.
yeah. Well, at the end of the day, that's how I look. Is like, you have made that choice, right? You know,
It's your responsibility.
you have made the choice to have kids, have family, have a job. Like, you know, there's certain things that.
Be talking about podcasts while asleep at 5:13 p.m.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where I think at the end of the day, if you know that as well, but you know, everyone's going to be tired of forever this, and this. And don't get me wrong. Yeah, there's days where I'm like, I'm tired, but you know, you still got to show up, right? I would say there's probably days I'm more tired than not, but that's okay.
This is a funny question. Would you rather be strong or look strong?
What is looking
jacked.
strong?
Just jacked.
Probably that, yeah.
Like, let's say you pick, you know, Anatoly.
Like, okay, wait, I'm gonna ask this. If I look strong and like, can I still like, what's the max weight I can pick up? Can I still pick up a box off the ground?
Let's say you're as strong as like your 10-year-old self.
10?
13?
10, bro. I can pick up like a 2-pound dumbbell or something. I don't know. I actually don't know what 10-year-olds can pick up, but. Okay, so if I. Okay, whoa, we gotta rephrase this. So if I look strong, what do I look like?
You just look jacked. Let's just say you're just looking. You're on melanotan. You're on test.
No, but like, if okay, and then if I am strong, shredded. Like I'm actually strong, what do I look like?
I was gonna say.
Do I look like, am I 800 pounds, but I'm strong?
No. How tall are you again?
5'9".
Okay, let's say you're like 140 pounds.
Bro, I'd look like I'm sick. I look like there's something wrong with me. I'm 195 pounds, dude.
You know, like those marathon runners, those extreme endurance, like marathon runners, like the Tour de France guys?
Yeah.
Like how they look? They're like, you're shredded. You're shredded. But you're like you're small.
But I'm strong.
Yeah, you're strong.
Nah.
I feel like it'd be a quick way to get
10-year-old
famous.
strength, bro. 10-year-old.
Regardless, you're probably gonna go famous regardless. Because if you're super jacked and you can't lift, you're gonna get famous and getting clowned on. Versus if you're like really skinny looking but you're super strong,
I would
you'd be
say
the ultimate
like
sleeper build.
I would say at this point I'm the leanest. Like aesthetically, I'm the leanest.
Okay.
But I'm not the strongest I've ever been.
Yeah.
So I guess strength is relative, right?
Yep.
I don't know, I'd still press, like, it's not like I'm pressing 10-pound weights. I'd still press in the 70s, 80s, 90s, but it's a lot harder to do than when I have it in the past.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Well,
I guess I don't know. That's a weird, like, what do you?
Okay. Huh?
What do you weigh?
Me? I hover around 145 to 150.
And how tall are you?
I'm around 5'7", so.
So, yeah, I don't see. I have such different genetics though than you.
True.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I can be 230 easily. Like 230 easy.
I'm a hard gainer.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. Like I have a hard time keeping like. I have to really make an effort to keep weight off.
Yeah.
Right. I could sit 230 year round and just crush food all day, and I have no problem.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to being lean, I have to really make like a conscious effort. Like I have to like not be careful, but I have to be a lot more careful.
Be aware
than most.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like if we probably ate the same amount of calories and I dummied the amount of calories you dummied, I'd probably gain weight way quicker than you.
Just
way quicker than you.
Yeah.
And we're doing the same lifts, same everything.
Yeah.
And we started the same weight.
Yeah.
I'd probably surpass it just because of my genetics.
Yeah.
But then you wouldn't also gain 40 pounds of fat.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I guess this is your question. The next one.
I think is aging well the new revenge body?
100%.
Like, so aging in the way of what you look
You're
like?
younger, so like...
You look younger.
So like you look younger, so like obviously growing up you're probably gonna get made fun of. But like let's say you're in your 30s and let's say you had an ex and she's in her 30s too. But like you may look like you got less wrinkles on your skin, you look more healthy, you look younger.
Damn.
Is that a revenge?
Wow. It depends on...
Is that the new revenge body? I would
Like,
say
are we
both
talking
ways.
about because we're like trying to, you know,
Oh, this is... What do you mean?
stab, it's like stick it to someone, or is it just in general?
This is more like stick it to someone. Like it's like in my opinion, it's like a revenge thing, right? Yes, it's 100% toxic. I'm just saying, do you think like the perspective of like, you know, like if like you age like fine wine, like they say, versus aging like a prune, it's like, is that the new flex? It's like,
Well, I think there's
I
ways
think
now
we live in a vanity culture. Like,
yeah, but there's so many ways to like make yourself look younger than you actually do. Well, you think of it like cosmetic surgery, man.
yep.
I'm not saying that go down that route.
Yeah.
But I've seen some, I don't know if you ever saw, have you ever seen that one of the guy? It was like really popular there for a bit. He did like a cosmetic surgery and he was,
botched?
pardon me?
Was it botched?
What do you mean botched? No. No, he looked, dude, he looked 20 years younger.
Yeah.
After the surgery. Like it was crazy. I saw this picture like this before and after and I'm like,
Was it an Asian guy?
I don't know.
I saw one with an Asian guy like that. But yeah, but I personally think when you ask that question, it's like if it's like the new revenge bod, aging young, I feel like back then, like I think it was more. So hear me out. So back like a few decades ago, I feel like people would like if you looked older than you were, like it was more of a flex. Like if you looked more gritty, more hardcore, like especially as a guy, like it was more a flex.
Well, I think as you're younger though, but as you go, like I think it's the reverse. Like you think like people in their 50s now want to look
like,
younger.
Another thing is they say like the Gen Z and stuff like that, the next generations, they're looking way older, younger. Like they look way more aged up. And I feel like this is kind of true. I feel like I've seen it myself where like the new generations, they're looking a lot more older than they are. So like for them to look younger and to kind of look like, I don't know, our generations or whatever, it's more of a flex.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I think there's so many things you can to make yourself look younger.
Yeah.
But I don't know, at the end of the day, I guess it depends on what your goals are, I guess. I don't know. If you want to look old, then look. You know what? I had a buddy growing up.
Okay.
He, I don't know. I don't think he listens to these podcasts, so it won't really. But people will probably know who I'm talking about. But like, he was like a man, bro. Like at like 13.
Giga Chad?
Oh, dude, just like, and that's just. But that was like he just like already facial hair.
Yep.
Like.
Was he a brown guy?
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Or he isn't. It's not like he...
He is not.
Yeah. I don't know why I say he
He's
wasn't.
classified as brown.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so...
No, he isn't.
Yeah,
like facial hair,
like
just like...
jawline.
And just like already had like muscle definition,
yeah.
jacked. Like that's just his genetics.
Yeah.
Right? But...
How do you age?
I haven't seen him in a while.
Okay.
I think he's aged well. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think at that point, it's just all depends on your...
Have you heard of like this thing that people used to say, the phrase like you peak in high school and then like, have you ever heard of that? It's like, well,
it's the reverse usually. People don't peak in high school usually. Or sometimes they
but like,
do.
You know how they go like, oh, there was like,
some people do.
Yeah. But like, no, like even like physically and then they like, you know, they go to college.
I think it's a bigger flex if you don't peak in high school and then you peak later.
I do too. But I was just going to say like that the saying of like, you know, you peak in high school and then like college comes and then you drink a bunch of beer and then you look like shit like 5 years later type.
Well, I think you could still drink the same amount, but you just can get away with it when you're a little bit younger.
Yep. True.
Right?
Yeah.
So.
But I do agree with you with what you said. It's the flex for the reverse. Where, because I look at it on Instagram, what blows up, what gets millions of views? People like, especially when they post their transformation videos, they look like a completely different person. Oh, it's like it's some super cringy stuff, and then it goes boom, Giga Chad.
Well, you look like I look like 10 years ago. That's when I graduated. Yeah. Like that 10 years ago then versus now, I look completely different. Mm-hmm. But again, that was just like health and wellness and, you know, working on myself.
Yeah.
But it's just, I think it just depends on kind of where you're at, right? Mm. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, last question you got for me?
Yeah, I say you can just ask me if you want a question.
Well, I guess we can just do like I guess is so like a last kind of question.
Okay, yeah.
what habit today makes the biggest difference later? I think that's a good one to end on. And we'll both answer that one.
I would say probably sleep because of the stress. That's how just your gut health, just taking care of your gut. We're talking about like later, you mean like it's like later, like 10, 20, 30 years down the line type thing? Or
But yeah, I just think in general, what is one thing that you'd say if you could, like let's say somebody was in their 50s and they're looking back.
The first thing I would say is don't abuse drugs. The second thing I would say,
all right, kids,
say no to the drugs.
No drugs.
Yeah, say no to the drugs, especially the hard ones. I would say sleep.
But they're not hard ones. They're fine.
Yeah.
That's what.
That's the disclaimer today. Yeah. Oh man. You hear about the thing with Vancouver, just to speed run this, but like the thing with them getting rid of that policy that they placed a couple years ago.
Yeah, there was like a big documentary on YouTube. Do you remember that?
Yeah, them giving a bunch of homeless people hard drugs, and they're saying there's like some event that's happening, and now they're saying they want to clean up the streets, and now they made the hard drugs illegal, so they're just gonna fill up the jails.
So that's your tip. Just don't do hard drugs.
Yeah, that's my number one. Yeah, just don't. Yeah, stay away from the cocaine, and all that stuff. And
those are the That's the habit, eh? Yeah. I was going down more the health and fitness route, but sure.
Yeah, and then the other thing I would say is gonna be sleep, just because you're gonna feel better, you're gonna produce more muscle, you're gonna get more growth hormone naturally getting released, you're gonna be less stressed, you're gonna be less puffy, you're gonna feel better, you're gonna talk better, everything will improve with sleep, I think. And then obviously like the basics is like go to the gym, eat clean.
Yeah, I think like habit. I think I would say building a foundation that works for you, right? Not doing so many different things all the time, right? Like figuring out at a young age what works good for you and riding with it.
Yeah, building a core routine.
Yeah, instead of always trying something different all the time.
Yep.
Like every 3 months. Like actually give it some time and understand or learn. Like take the time to learn about fitness, learn about peptides, learn about nutrition, learn about strength training. Like take the time to actually do that, because that's going to help you so much later on in life, because what you've now done is built yourself a routine
and a foundation,
right? Because think of it, if you've never worked out before and then you look 10 years down the road versus like how many habits and how many things have you now created?
Because you implied.
Yeah, because you implied, but now you like we've dealt with this before. Like somebody comes in, they're 40 years old, never have done that in their life.
Yep.
Right? And it's a lot
harder to learn.
It's a lot harder to learn because you've already built so many things and habits, and you can say negative habits. To unlearn them, it takes a long time because it took you so long to get to that point. Yeah. Right? So I think just doing that. Yeah. You know?
That's awesome. I think
no hard drugs.
Yeah, no hard drugs, and I think that's a good place to leave off. And no for this episode.
Any final thoughts?
No, I think that was a perfect spot to nail it on. You kind of just get a little motivation.
Yeah, a little motivation to end it. But yeah,
no the youngins, no drugs. Yeah, build the right habits. You know.
But yeah, everyone, thank you so much for listening to episode 66 of the Northstar podcast. I hope everyone has a great rest of the day, and we'll see you next time. Peace.